Welcome to All Pro Football Data. My name is Jim Coburn, and today's episode we're talking about Ashton Jeanty in terms of his analytics. So we'll look at his overall market share running back analytics, followed by efficiency analytics, then his age and competition analytics, advanced rushing analytics, and then we'll finally finish up with down and distance conversion analytics. The data collected for the charts today are from College Football Reference and collegefootballstats.com. For a glossary of terms, please go to the link in the description below. And for those that don't know who I am, my name is Jim Coburn. I have been writing and making videos on the draft probably since 2014, 2013, probably in that range. But particularly in terms of analytics, I've been going pretty heavy since 2014. And since that time, I have developed 8 NFL draft analytics guides in that time frame, and be on the lookout for the next one. But with all that stuff out of the way, let's get to the video at hand, which is on Ashton Jeanty. So taking a look at his data, so looking at running back market share analytics, it is ridiculous. Great numbers in terms of total offensive market share, passing yardage market share, and touchdown market share. There really isn't any flaws in terms of his data profile. And 90 again, high 90 percentile in terms of all those particular. Really, the core to being a running back is here, and he was just knocking it out of the park there. And then when you look at his efficiency analytics, knocking it out of the park there as well. Yards per touch, yards per reception, touchdowns, touchdown percentage, touchdowns per touch essentially. Ridiculous numbers there in terms of his data here, in terms of the patterns. I don't need to mention all the starter averages, the Pro Bowl averages, the All Pro averages is easily well above all those areas for him. So fantastic numbers for him. Then when you look at running back age and competition adjusted analytics, one of the biggest things that a lot of people have worried about Ashton Jeanty is his level of competition. He played at Boise State, he didn't play at Alabama, he didn't play at Michigan. So is his production justifiable? And this is one way it does justify it is by adjusting for the level of competition. Taking a look at the team that he was on, the level of competition that he had measured against his production. And based on these numbers, first of all, it has a great age score. I know some people don't care about age, but age has mattered since the 1950s and it still matters now. His MSA rating, 94 percentile. His pass rating, 99 percentile. Again, go to the glossary below if you don't know what these terms are. But based on all of this information, ridiculous numbers. So even when you adjust for his level of competition, he still comes out way ahead in terms of his data. And he's doing exactly what you want from a player from a lower level competition to do, which is to blow it out of the park. Because typically those types of players that just completely decimate their competition, and no matter where they played at, if they do that, then you gotta trust they're doing something right. If they're actually dominating at that level of competition, then it's very easy to say that they will make a mark in the NFL. So I think that's a big thing for him that really worked out for him. Then when you look at running back advanced rushing analytics, this takes a look at a sample from 2009 until 2024. Taking a look at this data, the TD percentage, first down, completion percentage on all downs and distances, his percentage of 10 plus yard rushes, and then 20 plus yard rushes. He was fantastic in all these numbers as well. So if you're talking about a 95, a 90 to 99 percentile running back at the NFL level, basically the top 10 percentile of what you would expect out of NFL running back, he hits well above those marks in terms of his rushing data. So no complaints here. And then when you get to his down and distance conversion analytics, taking a look at this area right here, his third down conversion rate was 81 percentile. So he was 81 percentile better than every single running back since the 2009 college football season in terms of converting on third down. Ridiculous. Then you look at his second down conversion rate on first down, which is a little bit less, and then getting first downs on first down, 73 percentile. Overall, great marks there, especially on money downs like third down, where you need to get that first down on third down. He's really been fantastic in that particular area there. Overall conclusion, Ashton Jeanty is almost a perfect running back prospect based on his analytics. His overall competition is the only major flaw, but he's still a great prospect, guys. I mean, even though it was against who it was against, you look at backs like Matt Forte, Mercury Morris. There's a lot of backs that again came from lesser competition. Even Barry Sanders, based on his strength of competition that coming out of Oklahoma, wasn't the best. I mean, his team was very good, but the strength of schedule that he faced, based on the metric work that I do, was a little bit on the lower end side. And again, I'm not comparing to Barry Sanders, but really, really productive player. And the level of competition thing is a concern, but it gets mitigated by how productive he was at his level of competition. So, another thing we need to know, of course, is athleticism. Even if he tests average, you still have a case to be made because of guys like Dalvin Cook. I think in terms of Jeanty, in terms of his athleticism in the field, it reminds me of Dalvin Cook to a certain extent. So again, even if he doesn't test well, I'm still going to be a believer in him if he at least has a above average speed score, which I think is definitely a possibility for him. I mean, he might blow it out of the water at the combine, but I'm just stating in case he doesn't, he still has a great profile. And of course, running backs, they've been devalued by the NFL. Their impact on the field continues to be important. Their approximate value remains the same. It's just that teams don't want to invest in them very high anymore. And as a result, you get bargains. And I think in this particular case, Jeanty has that ability to be exactly who you want him to be in terms of, approximate value standpoint on any given team. So great prospect. Do I think he's a top 10 selection? I think NFL teams don't really take those types of players anymore, but when the data is like this, almost a perfect prospect in terms of their analytics, do you pass up on that? Do you wait on that? Do you just avoid it? I don't think you do. I think you definitely need to pull the trigger. So, with all this stuff out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.